Or we could do like, hello. You don't think that's a good idea?
All right.
Hi, welcome to episode 6 of Honestly. Welcome to episode 6 of Honestly. I'm your host, Ashley, and I am joined once again by my husband, Matty, because anytime we do anything in the kitchen, he is obligated to be here because I do not cook. He does all the cooking.
I'm here.
So today is a very controversial topic because we are talking about...
Frying pans? Non-stick frying pans.
Non-stick frying pans. And you cannot talk about non-stick frying pans without talking about the Always pan from our place and Caraway pans.
These two, you can't avoid them on Instagram. You can't avoid them on TikTok.
And I'd say if you are scrolling Instagram and TikTok and it's a food account, they definitely have one or both of these pans.
Yes. Yeah. And then this over here, which is I guess is like player 3 or kind of the wild card, is Maiden, which is a brand that I think is fairly new, that is like trying to like be the all-clad of the like internet, basically. So it's like a more affordable, more approachable all-clad, and this specifically is a carbon steel pan, which is probably the best pan I've ever owned, and not gonna compare them to these two because they're very different, but adding it into the mix just as a different perspective of if these two pans maybe don't work for you, maybe.
I had received an Always pan as PR gifting. At first, we really liked it. Matty asked me if I could join an affiliate program for them because he really liked it. But the more we used it, the more we saw the shortcomings of it. So this is a brand new one that Spoke ordered for me to use and test.
And then there's the Caraway pan, which initial impressions feels like it is the middle ground between something like the Always pan and something a little bit more professional grade.
Should we talk about price point?
Yeah, which is very interesting, right? So what's the Always pan come in at for the whole package?
So the Always pan that comes with the steamer basket, the spatula, the lid is $145. The Caraway pan, which comes with just this pan, they do sell sets, but just the pan, doesn't come with a lid, is $95.
Not bad.
The Maiden, what is it called?
Carbon steel.
And this
is the 12 inch.
This one is $99.
So this is comparable. These two are comparable. It's the Always pan that is the high end, but you also get a steamer basket. You also get a wooden spatula. You get that kind of, you get a lid. You get the whole package.
Yeah.
All right. So I think we should just start making stuff in this and see what we find.
So Matty made me one of my favorite breakfasts, which is egg in a hole, which is just a piece of bread with the egg inside.
Cut out a hole and you put an egg.
And you put an egg. I think the Always pan is great for something like that is super basic, requires low heat, very minimal.
Yes, and I would say that it is good for this because even like having a lid is nice. I didn't use the lid, but even having a lid for something like egg in a hole is nice. If you don't want to like keep flipping it, you can also just put a lid on it. It steams the egg
and cooks it.
And steams the bread too, which is nice.
One thing about the Always pan, you can only use low to medium heat. You cannot use high heat, and you cannot put it in the oven. Another very common thing for the Always pan is discoloration with use, which happens when you use
it's a kitchen. I mean, it's fire. I have
shared my opinions about the Always pan on my Instagram account, and I have gotten tons of mixed reviews. A lot of people hate it, like have purchased multiple, have received ones, damaged them, and gotten replacements from the company. Like, absolutely hate it. Messages full saying the same kind of thing, the discoloration, how the nonstick goes away, how it's ridiculous that you can't use it. But I've also gotten a ton of messages, a lot specifically from vegetarian and vegan people, telling me that they love the Always pan for like the stews and like making a bunch of veggies. So who would you recommend it for? People that don't really cook?
Let's be honest. We don't represent the even the broader spectrum of like people who don't cook and like people who cook every day. There's definitely someone who this pan is right for. Someone who wants this pan to be sitting on their stove and not put it away because it looks really nice on your countertop. Someone who's looking for more of an all-in-one solution with the lid and the spatula that goes on like that. I will say, even though this lid though, like what I don't like is Like this just like kind of screws off like so easily, and it feels just like, I don't know.
It does kind of, especially compared to other pans that we have now, it does seem more like a toy.
But let's to wrap it all up. How good was the egg in the hole that you had?
So good.
I mean, it does make really good like eggs, really good omelets.
But there's also, I think the Caraway pan is better.
Yeah, let's get to the Caraway pan.
So at $95, this is a better deal, but you get less because you don't get the lid and you don't get a spatula, but you probably already have a spatula.
You get just the pan. I will say, you know, we got these in maybe like a few weeks ago, and I just kind of just like, you know, saw that you got it in, so I just started cooking with it, not even because of this video. And I like this
and you
nonstick.
have used it a lot.
This definitely doesn't have the same heat restrictions that the Always Pan does. So that, to me,
the Always Pan you have to like babysit.
That already makes it like I consider using it. So I made a soft scramble eggs in this. I used chopsticks because you're not supposed to use metal. So that's just a tip. If you didn't know that, do not use metal utensils in a nonstick pan.
You know, I didn't know that.
Well, these are all hot takes.
If I was using this on my own, which, let's be real, I would not be, I most likely would use metal because most everything we have is metal.
That is the surest way to ruin a pan is to
because it
metal.
scratches it.
It scratches it. It'll literally it'll take off
the coating.
It'll take off the coating. You cleaned it afterwards.
It cleans like a dream. Like infomercial. Cue the music. This cleans so well. The Maiden one is nonstick too. You can't use metal for that.
No, we'll get to the. Let's get to the to wrap up the Caraway. I think that this is the better Always Pan option, but just doesn't have the full package. All right, now it's time for me to nerd out about my favorite now, which is not my favorite pan of all time. This is the Maiden carbon steel. This is specifically the 12-inch. I will mention this pan with like all the caveats. This is not for beginning cooks. This is because this takes maintenance. So similar to, I think a lot of people use cast iron a lot more than carbon steel, right? Cast iron, I've owned many cast iron pans and cooked many times, you know, in cast iron pans. They're phenomenal. They take so much maintenance though. You have to like baby your cast iron. You need to maintain a carbon steel as well, but like maybe like 10% of the maintenance that you would for like a cast iron. And that's just because it doesn't need to be seasoned as well. And when it's seasoned, it's like it basically is as good, if not better, than nonstick. So you're kind of getting the best of both worlds.
Like if it's seasoned,
if it's seasoned,
stick?
Like touch this right now, like that's smooth. Like, and that's because I've been seasoning this over like, you know,
what
weeks
does
and
that
weeks
even
and weeks.
mean when you that's just when you put oil and you rub it in?
Yeah, it's basically you're putting oil in, and then once you're heating up that oil, it basically becomes one with the pan. We're bringing this to the mix with all the caveats to talk about how this is essentially, if you feel like the nonstick cookware isn't for you, the Always Pan is like limiting from the heat factor. This is I think the worthy pan to upgrade towards. I don't think you have to be like a super expert level chef in your home kitchen to merit having something like this. I think this could be for everyone, and at the price point, it's more affordable than the Always Pan and that same price as the Caraway.
Could you make eggs in this the way you did in the Caraway?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
Yes, but you not right out of the box. Like this would take like a few weeks of seasoning to become as nonstick as the Caraway. But what you get as a benefit of the seasoning, and I actually think it's better that you don't have to clean this like you would everything else. It's easier. I think that makes it easier to maintain. That kind of like balances the, yes, you have to like constantly coat this after every use and make sure that, you know, it's smooth and everything, but you also don't have to like put it in a dishwasher to clean it.
This is for a very specific person in the same way that this is for a very specific person, whereas this could be kind of for anyone. And I feel like you don't have to babysit it with taking care of it. You don't have to be as careful as you are with the Always Pan. You can put it in the oven. You don't want to blast it with heat, but like you can you can play around with it more. It's a more accessible price point.
Yeah.
It's still pretty.
It's kind of the perfect middle ground because I feel like these two are such opposite ends of the spectrum.
Yes.
But this is like smack dab in the middle of like someone who doesn't want to just get like a Tefal like pan because it just looks.
I don't even know what that is.
That's just a nonstick brand,
Okay.
or spend the money to get all clad. This is functional. I've used it quite a bit, and hasn't like worn down
Like
or
I'd say
anything
you've
like that.
used it over a dozen times.
Yeah, and clearly between these two, this is definitely the one to get. And then my only pitch to this one is if you are someone who maybe already have something like this, you're looking to upgrade, you're looking to get just that next level performance, something that'll last forever. Look into Maiden, and Maiden also makes nonstick pans as well. Everything they make is like between like $90 and $120, which I think is like perfect. So in conclusion, buy the Caraway pan.
And when you're ready to level up, look into Maiden, and they have a great YouTube channel where you can learn all about their pans and everything. So if you are looking for the next level up, I would say go there and go to their YouTube, and you can learn a lot more.
Let's do this. Let's go put the pants back on our face. Okay, bye.
Bye.
That's so dumb.